Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Uma Maheshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. In the last video, I have explained about just the introduction of a radio transmitter and the receiver. In this video, particularly, we are going to see about the radio transmitter. Radio transmitter is nothing but the transmission of amplitude modulated signal is based on the radio transmitter and the receiver. It is useful in other types of modulation including digital modulation. It is nothing but an electronic device that produces radio waves and radiates these waves with the help of an antenna. Antenna here transmits the radio waves from one end to the other, which is captured by the other antenna present at the receiver end. Thus, data transmission is a communication between the transmitter and the receiver. This is the simple block diagram of a radio transmitter. Message signal, modulator, power amplifier, where the carrier signal is also being given to the input of the modulator and finally to the antenna. Here the name implies that the transmitter sends the information from one end to the other end. Here the baseband signal, which is also called as a message signal, is translated to a radio frequency using a modulation. The baseband signal is multiplied by the carrier signal by the modulator. It helps in improving the frequency of the signal. The selected carrier signal has the same amplitude of the original signal. Then the power amplifier, it further amplifies the signal and radiates through the antenna. It combines the input and high frequency carrier signals, also known as a modulation. We can add the information to the carrier in different ways. It depends on the types of modulation and the types of transmitter. In the case of amplitude modulation, the information is added by varying its amplitude. The message signal and the carrier signal are present at a constant amplitude. Similarly, in the case of a frequency modulation, the information is added by varying its frequency. The radio signal from the transmitter is transmitted with the help of an antenna where it radiates the energy in space. The antenna is attached openly or in a closed case such as mobile phones and the walkie-talkies. In large power applications, the antenna outside the transmitter device is located on the top of a building or a separate power. The various components of a radio transmitter are a power amplifier, impedance matching networks and the antenna. In this transmitter, we are using an oscillator which is used for generating the carrier signal, which is made of LC crystal. Hence, the output of the modulator passes through the amplifier with the help of increasing the power level of the signal. Power amplifier. The main function is to provide a power boost to the signal. A simple modulator radiates only a few milliwatts of power, while an AM broadcast can deliver several kilowatts of power. Here, the C class power amplifier is preferred for the transmission because it have high distortion but produces 90% of the power efficiency. The distortion is reduced by using tuned loads with the amplifier. The components of the power amplifier are three impedance matching networks, driver amplifier and a final power amplifier. In this particularly, we are using a class A amplifier which is used in the buffer stage in case of a high bandwidth requirements, but the efficiency of it is very low. Such amplifiers conduct even when the input signal is absent, which results in the power loss. It provides an intermediate power boost while the final amplifier provides the required boost. Whereas impedance matching networks, here the output impedance and the input impedance of the first and the next stage are made equal for maximum power transfer between the two stages, where mainly the impedance matching network provides efficient power coupling between two stages. It also works as a filtering device to remove any unwanted signal from the information. Here the transformer based impedance matching network is uses in order to uses the turn ratio to match the load. Antenna finally is used to connect at the end of the radio transmitter, where it radiates the energy through the communication channel to the receiver. When the current enters the antenna, the electrical conductor inside it generates the magnetic field. It further induces an electric field. Both the electric and the magnetic field forms the EM waves which travel with the speed of light in a direction directed by the antenna. It has a single wire with the equal length equal to half of its wavelength. The radiation power is used for radiating purposes, and part of the signal is reflected back, and the radiation resistance of the antenna provides the same ohmic losses by the radiation power. Assessment is nothing but what is the use of a driver amplifier, and define intermediate frequency and mention the applications of radio waves. Thank you.